It's me again. Let me flip this around so you have to look at this mug. Doop. Daddy doop. So, oh, here, he probably doesn't want to be on film. We don't need to put him. Let's do, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. All right, fine. We'll just put you over here. You want to look at those? Oh, look at that. Oh, nobody likes a shot any better than that. Let's just play with those for now till he gets backed in. So I just want to pitch bone and complain about a little something that happened earlier today. Had to go into Pennsylvania near the Pittsburgh airport. And if you ever trucked in that area, there's a 376 business district that kind of goes around the airport. It's actually quite nice. It's the roads are newer. They're well set up. They're open. They're fairly easy to manipulate in a truck. I got no issue with that area. Of course, my GPS didn't want to send me that way. It wanted to send me down and over to the 151 and then over to the 51 and then over this way, that way, and up and around. And I thought, why? Why? I could stay on 376, go right over to that airport road, and literally the road I need is one street off of there. So forget you. I checked everything out on the Google Maps. I did the street view and I looked for everything. And what I do is I travel along the street view and I look to see if there's any signs or anything that say like no truck route or anything like that. Because sometimes when the GPS is really insistent that you go a certain way, there's a reason for it. There's a low bridge, there's a weight limit, there's a no truck sign, whatever. So I try to scope out all my options. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any signs in as I made the virtual trip down that particular, it's called Thorn Run Road, and I didn't see any of that. So I'm like, all right, cool, that's the way we're gonna go. And I managed to do that. It was a nice, easy trip. Kind of windy today, but I was heavy, no problem. And the place I was going to, I knew was they just had a big gravel lot out front. It's basically a house with a big garage. And then behind it, there's some pole barns. You have to go down this little gated section that's a hill that would take you down to the pole barns. I wasn't sure that there was enough room for a semi truck to get down there, but I thought, well, maybe they have a special way to set up. So I called the guy just before getting there. He didn't answer his phone. Then I tried calling again. He didn't answer his phone. He finally called me back. And by then, I was already in front of his property with the brakes pulled and the hazards on, blocking a 2-lane road. He goes, okay, I'm going to talk you through this. This is what you need to do. I used to be a truck driver. Please trust me. I go, okay. He goes, I'm going to block traffic. You're going to have to get in the oncoming lane. You're going to hop over this curb right here. It's low. Don't worry about it. You won't pop your tires. Okay. Back straight up into my driveway. He goes, just parallel with it. All right, I can parallel. Hold on a second.
What's this I hear about your favorite stop being Tokyo and Pittsburgh?
It's not necessarily the place as much as everything around it.
Yeah,
Just getting over there is
yeah. I drove to downtown to a ball field this morning.
Did you really?
The men went over there.
I was over that way. I went to Moon Township, which is out by the airport, so
Right.
it's a little.
And
But that
Jimmy's
whole
over
road,
there.
I'm actually making a
Good.
video about it. That whole road to get down to this place that you have to deliver the salt to,
In Moon?
yeah, in Moon, the entire road says truck limit 10 ton.
Yeah. But your PA,
I
you're
know.
allowed to get to a 10
I'm
whatever.
like amazing, and there's nothing that says that it's local deliveries
I
only.
know.
It just
Yeah.
so I'm just like, all right, well, if I get a ticket, I get a ticket because this is where I'm supposed to go. I'm
Right.
least expecting this delivery. So
That's what it is.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, and then the other thing is too is when I go into places, I like to just follow the route because the route stays the same. The name can change all at once. I don't care, whatever city you're going through. But I hate it when the GPS, trucking GPS, will tell you the name of a road,
And not the
and then
same
you
highway.
realize that it's the same highway, but
Right.
they give you 8 different names of the
Right.
road, and you're thinking
I
you got to
hate
make
that
all these.
myself.
I hate that.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll let you go. I just
that's
wanted
right.
to tease you about going into SoCal.
I just, like I said, once I get in there and I get, I'm like, you know what, I've gotten used to backing in there. I get it. Um, I've gotten pretty good with almost being even with the dock. Haven't done it yet, but I've gotten real close.
You've been there
But
before?
I have
Oh, I
several
thought it was
times.
your first
Yeah,
time down
no,
there.
no, I've been there. See, I think one time I called and I was almost crying, and I think Terry hasn't sent me back since then. Because I wait, wasn't expecting a full size truck. He goes, I'm a driver. I goes, I wasn't. They made me buy a whole truckload. I thought I was getting a box truck
Flatbed.
or a
Oh,
flatbed.
yeah.
And all he had was a bobcat with forks on it. And he's just like, I've got chains and a pallet puller. And I go, I know how to work them. And he's like, all right, you sure? I'm like, I wasn't told it was driver assist, but I guess if we want these things off the truck, this is what we're gonna do.
Jimmy had the same thing. We went and delivered a college right down there by the football stadium
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh today, and he had to pallet jack the whole load of it.
And I told him, I said, I've tried to pallet jack the salt. I can't do it by
No,
myself. It's
there's
too
something I
heavy.
can do.
And whenever I've gone to places that pallet jack, there's always two guys back there. One is doing it, and then they
One's
both
pushing it.
maneuver it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, even if I had a pallet jack, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
No.
But yeah, but he's just like, all right, but he was really understanding. He gave me 50 bucks.
Well, good deal.
And I'm like, all right, that
Good
was
deal.
worth it.
All right, stay warm.
All right, thanks. All right, I don't know how much of that you all caught, but it's all good. Anyway, so we're up there and so I'm following my route, and when I get over there, there's signs that say no, a weight limit, 10 ton. I'm like 10 ton. That's 20,000 pounds. My bobtail weighs more than that. What? No, no, we can't. I'm like, I don't care. This is the road he's off of, and no matter which way I come in, the road's marked the same way. So regardless, I have to come down this road. So I go down that road. Fine, no problem. I get over there, and I call him ahead of time, and he says, "Okay, I'm gonna need you to back in. I'm gonna need you to back in off the road. I'm gonna block traffic for you. There's cars coming up over the hill. It's two-way traffic, two lanes, one in each direction." And he stops traffic for me, and I just kind of do a little parallel park up over the curb and into his place. And he goes, "Hey, you did that pretty well." He goes, "Guys don't always do it like that." I'm like, "All right, well, whatever." So we get in there and he goes, "Okay, pull a little bit forward and we'll be good." So I pulled forward as far as I could without hitting a tree. And then we proceeded to realize I didn't have a pallet jack, which he thought I did. I wasn't a flatbed, which he thought I was. I wasn't a box truck, which all he had was a bobtail, or not a bobtail, all he had was a bobcat with some forks on it. So he's like, "Oh, how are we going to do this?" And I'm like, "I don't know." He goes, "I thought you were going to have a pallet jack." I go, "No, wouldn't be able to lift it even if I did. I've tried lifting this out with a pallet jack by myself. Can't do it." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, I got chains and a pallet puller." I go, I know how to work them. I've watched the other guys do it. I'm like, just give me a quick refresher and I'll help you. And he goes, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing then. He did end up calling two other guys that were going to come help. They just stood and watched. They didn't do anything. They just stood. They're like, you got this. I'm like, I got this. They're like, okay, we're just going to stand on here and help you maneuver the chains off of the bobcat. And I said, all right, that's fine. So we quickly learned, and I got all kinds of accolades like, hey, you know how to do that. You know how to keep the chains short. You know how to keep them taut. You know how to, and like, you're pretty good at this. And I'm like, whatever. So we get all done. We unload the whole thing. Now, mind you, it was really cold this morning. I was not cold by the time I got done with all this because that was plenty of exercise, walking back and forth. And we get all done, and he signs my paperwork. We clean everything up, and he gives me 50 bucks. And I go, no, 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 no. I was just doing my job. You're good. He goes, no, no, you went beyond your job, and I really appreciate it because I wouldn't have gotten these things off here otherwise. He goes, these two idiots don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, not saying a word. So anyway, so it turned out to be really cool. I got out of there and came back around, and then I headed into Cleveland, and everything was fine and dandy. But, it's the whole thing of anytime I go up into Pennsylvania, it just seems like you look at the routes and it's like, okay, why don't you just tell me I need to stay on 51 and then to 65 and then back to 51? No, you tell me I need to get off 76, go to 376, go to 51. Then you start telling me the names of streets as though somehow I'm actually changing routes. When in fact, it's all Route 51. It just has 8 different names depending on what town you're going through. Why can't you just call it stay on 51? It's and whatever. And they're not all well marked, and you don't know that you're staying on the right route, and you don't realize that it's all 51 until you're actually up there and you finally start to see the state signs, if indeed the state road signs are even there, because half of them are missing. I don't know. They must get good money for them at the scrapyard or something, because half the signs for half the stuff is missing. Um, it's aggravating. It's aggravating. And I seem to run into it more and more in Pennsylvania than I do anywhere else. I'm sure if I went to the East Coast, it'd probably be even worse. Went to New York City, it'd probably be even worse. But I don't go up there. So I'm just saying, folks. All right. I just need to vent. And that was that. So 10 minutes worth of bull crap. All right. Thanks for listening, all. Talk to you later.